Yeah, then I like to welcome you here to a new episode in Family Channel. My name is Rune Fardal, and together with me here is Åshild Holstad and her mother again, Anne Sølvi Holstad. And the reason we sit here in Ulsteinvik in Norway, outside the city hall actually, is because Åshild win in the Norwegian Supreme Court. And that is a case regarding childcare here in Norway. And it's regarding her right to have social visitation with her grandchild, which childcare is trying to not happen, let's say that.
Yes.
Yeah. And the case now is a little bit complicated law, but it is about the Norwegian childcare law say that if the parents have very limited visitation rights, then other family members, like grandmother, can have visitation. And then the question regarding the childcare lawyer was that he didn't think that this was very limited. And when we talk about very limited, it was 4 times of 2 hours every year. And the family say that this was limited, and the childcare lawyer say, no, it wasn't. And what the Supreme Court was going to decide was whether that amount of visitation rights was very limited or not. Because if it was, grandmother have rights to have her own visitation with this child. It's a child which is 6 years today, and the childcare here in Ulstein and Volda, the area here, they have done everything they can to stop the family from seeing the child after it was taken 3 months old for about 6 years ago. So Åshild here, she liked to give you a little statement about what she think so far. So Åshild, if you like.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, first I would thank you for this interview. It was in Norwegian, but now I'm telling something in English.
I can inform you. We have just had a longer interview regarding this in Norwegian, but now we take an English one, so you outside Norway can see what's going on here in Norway.
And I want to thank you for the job you do, Mr. Fardal. Yes, it means so much for us. It's about 2-3 years since we talked last time.
Yeah.
And today we have talked about the judgment in Supreme Court of Norway, 2nd of July this year. I hope this judgment can help other grandparents and other family members to have social meeting with their family members and grandchildren. The fight has been going for the last 5-6 years, and it all started when I wanted to have a social meeting for my own. This was denied by Ulstein kommune. The reason for that was that kommunen claimed the child do not to have any need to have contact with me. But now I can have the opportunity and the right to have social meeting with my grandchild. Thank you.
Yeah. And that decision come yesterday, actually,
Yes.
in the Norwegian Supreme Court. And it say you have the right,
Yes.
clear and simple. And it also stated something about what is very little, very limited access. And it said that above 8 times a year, so under that is regarded as very limited.
Yes.
And this family had 4, and just in a ruling in City Court here a few days ago, they got 6.
Yes.
But that is still under what High Court now decided as very limited. So they still have very limited. And that's why you, according to the Norwegian childcare law, have access now to grant yourself or ask for your own visitation.
Yes.
So the child can come to you separately. No, you don't have to go with the parents and meet the child. You can meet her alone.
Yes.
Yeah, without the parents. So that means the child will see family members, you and the parents and grandmother
Grandmother,
Yeah.
yes.
More.
Yes.
And that is good because the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg have stated several times that childcare is by law to work for reunion.
Yes.
But in this case, they haven't done anything
No.
for reunion.
No, anything. No, nothing. Nothing.
So-
For all the time is nothing.
Yeah. So they have actually broken the Declaration of Human Rights
Yes.
in this commune. And now, when you went after them to get your rights, you win.
Yes.
So they lost. So let's hope they're losing more,
I
because
hope so.
they have to follow the Human Rights
It's a
Convention.
long way to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has been difficult or hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
And
6 years
6
since she
years,
was
yes.
taken.
Mm.
And they have fought you all the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Not giving anything.
No.
No.
Not anything.
Okay, so to all you abroad who obviously know about the Norwegian Barnevernet, Child Protection Service, which is famous now for, that was actually just the day before your ruling, 1st of
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
They lost 3 more
Yeah.
cases against Norway in the Court of Human Rights. And now they have lost 11 cases, I think, regarding childcare, and 1 other case with another subject. So,
And 40 more?
yeah, and there are right now between 20 and 25 more waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 40, but now some
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
decided.
Yeah.
So Norwegian government is actually, well, they are running around Europe telling everybody else to follow the human rights.
Yes.
But I think they should clean up their own mess here in Norway first. So everybody out there in Europe and everywhere else, if the Norwegian government come and tell you how to follow the human rights,
Yeah.
tell them to go home and clean up their own shit.
Yes.
Simple said.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they are actually human rights violators. And the minister in the government, his name is Ropstad, he hasn't lifted a finger to change the childcare system here in Norway.
No.
He's actually on their side, more worried about the people working there, their rights,
Yeah.
than the children and families' rights. So he is working against the human right convention and the European Court of Human Rights. He's actually working against them.
Yeah.
You was in Strasbourg, wasn't you? When
No.
you haven't been there?
No.
Because it's just a few years ago when the so-called Lobben case was in the high chamber in European Court of Human Rights, and the Norwegian lost that one. And that was an important case because it put the standard for all the other cases that coming after, and that's why the rest of the cases waiting now is decided in smaller with a smaller number of judges, only 3 judges, because all the premises has been laid out.
Yes.
And well, and now you win in High Court here, and you have now the right to have social visitation from your grandchild alone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the commune here is going to handle this one. If they're going to fight you again, I think they have a serious problem. I don't think they have any. Actually, it's not them, but the it's a sort of court system here in Norway that you go to first to ask for this permission, and then if it doesn't work there, you go to city court, to high court, and then end up in Supreme Court. And now this grandmother just win in Supreme Court.
Yes.
So that's a clear statement for the childcare here in Ulsteinvik. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
No last words?
No.
No. Everybody can see the weather here in the western
Yeah.
part of Norway. We have like this all year, don't we?
Yes.
Most of it anyway. Yeah. Okay, then you have a little picture of what's going on in Norway. This case is actually very important because now every grandmother, grandfather, and maybe other families too that have attachment to the child can demand their own visitation. And that is probably going to put a lot of stress on childcare.
Yes, I think so.
Because I think there are thousands of people here now that can ask for visitation for themselves. And with this decision that Åshild here now have driven out, they win. They have the right on their side. Yeah. Okay, follow the channel and see what's going on in the Norwegian childcare system, and the decisions in the European Court of Human Rights is also for your country in the whole of Europe. So they are important decisions. Okay, see you for now, and we will soon be back.